Hey, Hometown Heroes, we have a very special guest. It is the winner of Injustice 2 at EVO 2017, Ryan Walker, also known as Noble Dragon. Ryan, congratulations on being the Injustice 2 champion.
Thank you so much.
So tell me, what was the experience like for you going through the pools, the bracket, and then finally being on the main stage and going against Honeybee's Flash, which was a big crowd favorite?
Right. I liked my path for EVO, everything except for my top 8 match, which I either had to fight Samij or White Boy. At least that's how it was supposed to go. So then I saw Nupcakes beat Samij, who I wanted to because I feel better going against Nupcakes rather than Samij. And then Too Easy beat White Boy. So everything was going to plan, and then my top 8 match ended up being Nupcakes. So that got me into top 8. Where I had to face Hayate, who almost beat me, and then had to face Honeybee right after for winners finals. And Honeybee beating Sonic was something that I would have never imagined in my wildest dream. I mean, you know, Honeybee is great, but Sonic is you know, one of the best players in the world, and plus he plays one of the best characters, whereas Honeybee plays, you know, a not-so-great character who's just coming in here, who didn't think he would do that well at all, and he got second. So him upsetting Sonic Fox and Theo was something that I didn't think would happen. So it was awesome seeing all that, but I'd rather face Honeybee over all those players. So all the pathing worked out for me in the end, so I'm kind of glad it worked out the way it did.
Now, it was so neat to see your tweet and your reaction of that. Guys, I'm a champion. I'm an EVO champion. This is something you've worked towards across multiple game titles, and now it's finally come true for you. What's next for Dragon? Right.
Just more tournaments, more practicing, more grinding. You know, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. It seems to be working, right? I mean, one EVO. So, yeah, but I'll be at all the tournaments. I'll be at Defend the North, that's happening in a couple weeks. I'll be at the Europe tournaments, and you know, obviously the finals, and just pretty much everywhere. Anytime a tournament is happening, you'll probably see me there. So that's my plan.
Now, we talked about Flash being one of the biggest storylines and the surprise from Honeybee. We're seeing a lot of different character selections throughout all of the Hometown Heroes in each of these regions. And I feel like, yes, there is an agreed upon tier level of these different characters. But once we've seen a performer with a character we didn't expect, like Honeybee's Flash or even White Boy's Scarecrow, do you think that we're going to see a couple more surprises down the line before NetherRealm's next patch? Or is it really anybody's game? It just comes down to the skill level and the hype and the mind games these players bring to the stage.
Right. I mean, it's definitely possible. I don't think anyone before EVO would have guessed that a Flash would make, you know, second place. So who's to say that any other character who is underrated or not, you know, represented a lot could, you know, not do well? Like, we could see a Blue Beetle, we could see a Firestorm, you know, who knows? Like, no one can say now that this happened. Honeybee showed that it is possible and anything can happen. So, you know, just if you put in the time, put in practice, you know, with your character and go out to these tournaments, anything is possible.
Anything's possible. Hey, we have Noble Dragon as the EVO 2017 champion. That's proof that anything is possible. Dragon, any shout-outs you'd like to give us?
Right. Shout outs to Noble, of course. Shout outs to all my supporters. Shout outs to all my friends who I hang out with all the time at these tournaments. And shout outs to NetherRealm for creating such an amazing game and hosting, putting up all these pop bonuses for tournaments and supporting us for everything. And I can't wait to see what's next.
All right, Noble Dragon, thank you very much, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Appreciate it.
Man, never gave me a shout out for discovering him on my stream.
Oh my god, oh man. All right, well, anyway, that was Dragon, of course, EVO champion. Congratulations to him. He earned it so much.
No, he absolutely did.
Definitely one of my favorite players for a very long time. But speaking of people who made top 8 at EVO, we actually had one of them winning the Miami region, where DR Gross, who made top 8, did manage to win this week. I'm not sure if he played from Vegas or if he managed to make it back home really quickly, but that moved him up to that third place spot.
And the beauty was Evo actually didn't have an effect on them being able to enter for Hometown Heroes.
Right, we did just actually get that confirmation the day after.
And also, I mean, moving on to Atlanta, it was Tweedy who has made his. Is that his third win in a row? I believe it is.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, so he is now at the 3rd place spot and the 2nd place spot for Chicago.
But as a little bit of a backstory, Merc did get 2nd place and actually knocked Tweedy into losers. Tweedy had to reset him. So I know that was a pretty difficult path this week, a little bit more difficult than he's had recently. But that moves on to our final 3 matches of the night, where in winners finals, we are going to have OD Alcatraz against ANBU GetReked. Now, of course, the loser of this is going to move on to fight Mr. Hectic Gamer in losers finals.
Or move down to fight, rather.
Well, yes, continue on to fight them.
Yes,
but
that is correct.
OD Alcatraz against ANBU GetReked. Now, we did see GetReked switch around to some other characters and win against Mr. Hectic Gamer already. So if he does get knocked into losers, that will be a rematch. But against Alcatraz, it should be interesting to see who he chooses. Now, I feel like Alcatraz will most likely be starting off with Cheetah.
Right. But, I mean, if he feels like he's getting overwhelmed, he obviously got here by using, or in case you missed it, he got here by using Deadshot.
Right. He was in the first round of winners down 2-0.
And he's using a hidden cursor right now, so we don't know who he chose.
Well, we could see something secret. We could see.
I was always curious what happened when he chose.
Oh, there, and that's Cyborg.
Cyborg?
I think that is Cyborg.
That is
Cyborg. So we're seeing a very interesting pick in the first game of this winners finals. We are seeing Cyborg. I don't 100% know what the idea for this matchup is, but of course Cyborg, one of the best.
Doomba.
The Doomba, and the Doomba just locked him into place as he was being assaulted by
So maybe the idea is, I mean, the highest damaging projectile in the game, just single projectile, is Cyborg's.
Correct.
So maybe maybe trading with projectiles is what he's trying to do, but
well, he is going to get some really nice pressure every single time the Doomba's out, and we see it right there. Didn't get the full conversion, but still managed to get a good amount of chip, a good amount of pushback, and really getting him out of the corner is bigger than anything else. Now, I could see this pick make sense because of exactly what we saw right there.
Yeah.
Now, Cyborg is a zoner, and a zoner who really doesn't require too much meter for any of his zoning game. In fact, he builds quite a bit of it.
Oh,
so,
what read. And that's kind of also what I was alluding to. I just didn't know how to speak English. Yeah, that high damage projectile will allow him to make those trades in his favor, especially with that Doomba. I mean, that thing's really obnoxious. It moves really low on the ground. Obviously, it goes very slow, cleans the floor.
And yeah, Arkham's pretty dirty, so they're going to need a little bit more than that, I think. But actually, more so than just the damage and winning trades, I think the fact that he's going to be able to zone and build a ton of meter will give him the meter to kind of
push
challenge.
Block,
push block, meter burn back 3. There are a lot of really good options that he can use against that Atrocitus pressure, and it's working pretty well so far.
He tried using his trait there. It didn't work out. Caught in the corner. This is going to be a setup with Dexstar now.
And that is evening it up. Dexstar still out for a little bit.
Yeah, and he's waking up with uppercut. That's actually not a true wake up with Cyborg. And wow. Yeah, the only wake up he really has that has any invincibility is the command grab, and that is a high.
But you know, that could have been a decent check in that situation, because if it did connect, it would have prevented him from using Dexstar for the end of that. And on top of that, you really don't see too many crouch attacks from Atrocitus.
I mean,
pretty much all
down 1 is pretty much the only thing he's going to use, right? But on wake up, it's not something he's always going to be worried about. Cyborg, I don't think it was a terrible option. He generally did okay, like in most of the game, but then he got caught in the corner. And one thing we never actually saw him use was grapple. We never saw him use grapple, and grapple is actually a pretty decent option in that situation as well.
That's true. Grapple, of course, one of the best options for getting out of the corner in general. It has armor very quickly, and does change pretty much screen positioning as much in any direction that you want.
Now, yeah, I was gonna say I would also like to see him use the. It's not the Doomba. Do you have a clever name for that one?
I do not. It's definitely like a mother box, but I don't know. Well, no, what?
It is technically a mother box, though.
Yeah. That is exactly what his trade is. And wow, how did he do so much damage so early just through zoning?
And that's going to hit, yeah, so he's actually got to hold that. I want to see him use the drone, the flying fidget spinner. How about that?
No. Well, how about not?
Okay. So yeah, using the aerial drone would be a really good option in this matchup as well, because it acts like a kind of knockoff Dexstar in a sense, but only once, and it takes forever to recharge.
Hey, you know, it's pretty good, and the big thing about it is that it sets up some other zoning situations. In fact, one thing that we haven't used or seen used is target acquired. Target acquired.
Yeah,
where
that's true. And that's gonna hit. Yeah, knocks him right out of the throw.
And this life lead looks like it might be a little bit much to get back from, as
wow. I mean, he didn't even need to burn the meter there. That was just Finwish him.
I think really all he wanted to do was cover the potential aerial approach.
Sure,
there was really no escape in that.
I'm pretty sure there's no way that Trustus could have jumped that high. I'm just saying.
Hey, he could have jumped and then punch floated.
But even still, like, it was almost a completely vertical projectile.
Yes, projectile. But you know what? It worked, and wow.
Wait,
wow.
no, you can't do that, sir. You're not allowed to do that,
He was like,
sir.
oh, I'm zoning. And he just went to dash shot. He's like, wait a minute. No, no. I zoned with that other guy. But yeah, definitely can't switch. And we'll see if we, okay. No switch from GetReked. I mean, he did win pretty convincingly well, not pretty convincingly. It was close, but convincingly enough within the first game. This last one, though, that was one-sided.
Just reading his name with the E, it almost looks like it spells GetReked. Because Rekt is supposed to be R-E-K-D. I don't know.
GetReked?
GetReked.
ANBU GetReked.
Nice block. Grab, at least.
Oh, that was nice,
grapple.
actually.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Does he have time to set up a mother box?
The grab choice was really good, too, because he knew that it was going to knock him really far away and give him time for that. Wow, down one uppercut.
And this is actually where...
that was sick. Nice. Win for the cross-up.
Is going to hit. Yep, stops. This is actually a fantastic pick, I think, the way he's playing it. This is working out beautifully.
It looked like he might not have been ready the first time that he used him quite as much as now, but it looks like he's using a lot more options.
Happens, right? When you switch characters, it takes you a second to remember how to play the damn thing.
Right, especially if you've already used 2 characters within this tournament.
Yeah, this is the 3rd character he's used.
Oh, the bait on the
awesome.
Push block. Very smart meter burn forward 3 cancel. But wow, okay, up projectile beating the punch flow. So this is looking a lot closer. GetReked, doing quite a bit of damage. Oh, and he can't do anything because of the Doomba. Oh, no, the Doomba went away! Come back, Doomba! Come back! It's going to go continue bleeding for the rest of the
thing that's actually wonderful about Cyborg, if you're noticing it, is that when Dexstar shoots the ball out, what happens is, since he's in the air doing the projectile, it goes straight up towards him. However, he falls faster than the projectile can readjust, so it whiffs every time. The projectile is almost useless against Cyborg.
And maybe that's one of the big reasons why he picked it, because it seems like he's very confident in challenging.
Yeah, he's very aware of what's happening with the specifics of this matchup.
Right, so this might be a very specific counter pick that he likes to choose.
And he's not even going for instant airs. He's just letting those things rock on the ground. Wow.
Whoa. Stop
meter burning for the shield. Wow, this is looking like a very just dominant counter pick so far.
Oh, and now he's gonna start his pressure game.
Do you hear it? It actually sounds like a Roomba 2.
It does, and it actually disappeared. I didn't know that there was a maximum range on that. I've never seen that happen.
It doesn't actually go full screen. There is a capped range, and that is going to do it. 2-1 Alcatraz trying to move himself into the grand finale of Chicago this week.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a switch. This Cyborg pick seems to be so smart. I cannot say that I've ever seen somebody specifically counterpick Atrocitus with Cyborg, but I mean, in this particular case, it looks like it's working. And Cyborg is a character that has some very, very strong tools. But regardless, we still don't see him too often.
Yeah, and there are people that play Cyborg that also think that he's a weaker character. But, I mean, he does have some new toys, obviously, no pun intended, to play with in matchups, and he has some tools that have been readjusted to be a little better this time around in the game as well. So,
yeah, quite a few of them actually. But we are going to see this switch to Superman from GetReked. And it's a pick that makes a lot of sense. It's going to be very difficult for Cyborg to actually outzone Superman, as any trade with the straight laser will be a ton of damage, and so will this combo.
The interesting thing here too is that his Cyborg is actually, because it's tournament node, it's level 20, but his Cyborg is only level 3. Like, he can't wear any gear past level 3.
That's probably why we're seeing him literally on the base Cyborg skin.
Yeah.
Although I much prefer the Grid skin. I think Grid looks sick.
Grid looks awesome, yeah. And wow, what a turnaround in things. And this is kind of where people think Cyborg suffers, is as we see Superman kind of dominating as he takes some...
Well, damage is coming back relatively quickly. Of course, Cyborg's zoning, like you said earlier, just does so much damage. Look at that, taking 75% of his life already just to projectiles. Even a little bit more, but now this is the danger zone. But, oh, gets it.
Down.
And that
is going to do the chip no matter what, yeah. The mother box is recharging halfway through.
And so now we're on match point for Alcatraz's Cyborg, but he's going to have to get out of this corner situation.
Oh, he doesn't block, and this is going to be a good bit of damage.
Not pulling your punches. Neither are you.
All right, 1 bar for each player. Oh,
but
the straight laser connecting. The straight laser connecting is so much damage. And right now, GetReked starting to challenge with his zone zoning for the first time.
And again, he takes the little roller coaster ride on those 2 projectiles. And look at almost chip. That's 90 damage per projectile meter burns, but still he's keeping it even.
Oh, and now we're basically 1 hit away, especially with that trade on. He's got to be worried about getting hit by the straight laser.
Oh, wait, he's bringing it back. Oh, he tried to jump out of the way, and his trade mother box just came up.
All right, so now is the real question of this matchup. They're going to Game 5, and the decision is, do you stick with Cyborg against Superman, or do you go back to something where you're more comfortable? Because this is really the situation that he would want to put him into.
Maybe he likes Cheetah? Yeah, I mean, that's the character that we know he mainly plays. Maybe he's comfortable with this matchup. I can understand why he wouldn't like Cheetah versus Atrocitus. It seems very oppressive. But no, it looks like he's just going to stick it out with Deadshot.
Deadshot, an interesting choice. I feel like he was very close with Cyborg, and he should... I mean, if he just didn't have quite such a bad start of the round, I think he could do it.
Yeah, he got dominated really bad and put in the corner. It was rough at the beginning of the round for him.
It was, and he still almost made it back. But now, oh wow, that is almost exactly what happened in the last game. Not looking great. Dash punch whiffs, but still already in the corner. This is going to be so difficult to escape from.
Oh, and he's frozen.
I have never seen that happen. I can't lie.
I swear, NRS is like stealth adding interactables, like the Tusk on Gorilla City.
They're changing things very slightly just to see if we notice and to make us feel like we've gone insane. And it's working. No, actually, I think that one, I know for the power characters, they throw it on the ground and it leaves that frost puddle that if you stand in it too long, you get frozen. But regardless, Alcatraz managed to take back so much of a lead just from that interactable alone.
Oh, tried to get out of the way of the eye laser, didn't get it, but
ooh, that was a nice conversion.
I mean, was it a conversion or was it him just spamming?
It was a conversion. It was down to the well, okay, yeah. I don't know.
You see my point?
It was a conversion. We'll just
all right, we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
But now, final life bar for both players. Alcatraz with just a barely any lead, but he's on the level. If he gets to this left side and abuses these drones, ooh. I don't even know. I have not even seen a Deadshot try to use the drones. Drones, of course, being one of the best interactables in the entire game. Is he even going to need him? He's there! He's using the drones!
All right, here we go. You just almost fell out of your chair.
And he can just resummon those drones so often. No, you should be using it. Push block and use the drone. No, don't move forward. Just use the drone.
You're getting so upset. Relax, he's winning.
All right, well, regardless, he's in a... Oh, this is a tough situation. He needs to... Oh, well, now all he needs is chip.
And that is it.
No, it's not it.
Wait a sec.
All right, goes for the interesting reset, but the throw doesn't going to give him too much Oki.
Oh my God,
no.
It's still possible. There's 1 bar only for Alcatraz. 0 bars for GetReked.
I like the choice, not doing anything with it.
And that is it. Alcatraz with 3 different characters tonight going to the grand finals of Chicago Week 7.
And that means that GetReked is going to move down to rematch Mr. Hectic Gamer in the losers bracket. But boy, the Cyborg pick was so surprising, but it worked out so well. And in fact, it was the reason that he locked himself into Superman for the final game and then ended up having to play a matchup that he might not have been as comfortable with.
Yeah, but wow, I'm really impressed with that Cyborg. Even still, he did lose to Superman, but that was after a horrible start either way, and he almost brought it back. So good stuff to him. He's in grand finals, but that means GetReked has to go downstairs to fight Mr. Hectic Gamer.